Okay, last example. Same thing here. Let's figure out the left and right behaviors. Okay, this is an even degree negative coefficient. So that means the left side will go down and the right side will go down. So when we take a look at our graph here in a few minutes, both sides will go down, left side and right side. So let's find our zeros by factoring. Set this equal to 0. Common factor will be negative 2x squared. If I factor a negative 2x squared out of both of these, I will be left with x squared minus 1. Oh, it looks to me like this will factor again, because this is the difference of two squares, so that factors into x plus 1 and x minus 1. So I am going to have 3 zeros. I will have a 0 from this factor, a negative 1 from this factor, and a positive 1 from that factor. So let's think about whether these factors will cross or touch the x-axis, because these are our factors and these are the zeros. Okay, these factors were odd degrees, so these will cross the x-axis. Negative 2x squared was an even degree, so the 0 will touch. The graph will just touch the x-axis at 0. So let's go ahead and put those on our graph here at 0, 1, and negative 1. And you may even want to, I'm going to put in red so it'll show up here, I'm going to put a cross, a C and a C there so that you'll know those cross, and I'm going to put a T there for touch. So when we start graphing this, you'll remember that it will cross here and here and it'll just touch there. Alright, let's draw a number line to find extra points in each interval. There's a 0, there's a 1, there's a negative 1. And I'm also going to write up here that this is going to be a touch. This will be a cross. And this will be a cross, just to kind of help you keep it all straight in your mind. Okay, let's pick us some points in each interval. And again, it really doesn't matter. You pick any point you want, but you do need to pick a point in, this interval, in this interval, in this one, and in this one. So you need to give me 4 extra points. Something to the left of negative 1, something in between negative 1 and 0, between 0 and 1, and to the right of 1. Okay, your graph is basically split into 4 sections. So pick any number you want to the left of negative 1. Again, I'm just taking a wild guess that y'all would probably pick negative 2. So let's plug in negative 2 back up here in your original equation. Negative 2 times negative 2 to the 4th plus 2 times negative 2 squared. Well, that's going to be negative 32 plus 8, which is negative 24. Now, that's a pretty big number, but the point negative 2, negative 24 will be on your graph. Now, the graph I put on here only goes up to 7 in each direction. So when you draw yours on your paper, you can draw it to whatever number you want to. If you want to count by 2s or 5s or 10s, you know, that's up to you, however you want to. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate on here. I would go negative 2, and we'll just say, since this is way off the paper, I'm going to say way down here is negative 24. Okay, because that's as far as I can go down on my paper. Alright, let's pick something in between here. Between 0 and negative 1. Probably a good option would be negative 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to write it right down here. Negative 2 times negative 1/2 to the 4th plus 2 times negative 1/2 squared. Well, that's going to come out to be negative 1/8 plus 1/2, which will turn out to be 3/8. So this is going to be the point negative 1/2, 3/8. Okay, negative 1/2, 3/8. Little bitty right up there. Now, just kind of give you a hint here. This graph is going to be symmetrical across the y-axis. So if I plug in a positive half, we're going to get 3/8. And if I come over here and if I plug in positive 2, I'm going to get negative 24 also. So I will have this little point here, and I will have this one down here. So the graph starting down at the bottom, it's going to come up, it's going to cross, touch, and cross, and come back down. So we crossed and touched where we thought it was going to. And just maybe draw your graph, maybe don't put you know, when you're drawing them on your paper for your homework, you're probably drawing them like this. You know, you're not actually having grids on graph paper where, you know, this obviously went to 7 in each direction. So if you need to, you know, you can just put that this was like negative 24 on your graph. Just draw your graph accordingly and number your scale accordingly for however big your numbers end up being. Okay, and that is it. That completes 2-2.